Morning guys, right, do you remember that picture I posted the other day and I said on it, what is wrong with this? It's quite a serious thing. What is wrong with this picture? Well, this is the answer. Right, now as you can see, this is what I posted the other day, and I said to you, what is wrong with this picture? And it's the serious matter. What is wrong with this? And a few of you got it, a few of you didn't get it, but the major thing I was talking about was that D2 pipe. As you can see, I've circled it out. That is your D2 pipe discharge pipe from your safety devices from your cylinder. There is no termination. It just drops straight onto the floor, and you'll see in the next picture, and it doesn't go anywhere else. It doesn't terminate anywhere. It is meant to terminate outside. Look, see there? So it doesn't terminate. So that has been left there for, this has been like this for 4 years. This has been like this. It's a new build property. They've moved in. Obviously, the customers and tenants don't know, do you know what I mean? But they've had plumbers previous to come out to service the boiler and service the tank and do a certificate. And they've been out and done a certificate, so everything's fine. Even the last guy called the customer and said, oh, you're due for a service, but I'll do it over the phone because everything was fine last year. I'll do it over the phone and I'll send you the copy of the certificate. Now, that just shows how bad people are. Don't get it wrong, this has been like it since the original install. So obviously 4 or 5 years ago when they moved in, this is from the actual installers, which how it got signed off, I don't know. But it's either lack complacency or just, you just don't know what you're doing. But this is the kind of stuff I see daily, and this is so dangerous. People don't realise. And when you try and explain this to the customer, they think you're having them over, and it's ridiculous. But this is what I mean, it's ridiculous. Every day I see things like this. It's a joke. Thankfully, they've had no issues with this. So for the past 4 or 5 years, they've had no issues, luckily. But we've gone there to service it instantly. Nope. Off. Turn everything off. Cut everything off. You're not using it. That's it. Now, until this is done properly, there is no way me or any of my guys are touching this, signing anything off. You've got no chance. So now we've got to go through all the rigmarole and ag of trying to get that outside. Now, you would think, it's easy, but this is a terraced property in the centre of the building. So it's not as easy as what you think. Now, as you can see, how bad that was. So literally, we've got to go there tomorrow. I've had to obviously price some bits and pieces kind of thing tomorrow to do this. Now, the problem is this is a terrace property, and this is in the middle of the property. So we've got to go left, which is the front of the property, or right, which is the rear of the property. You can't go obviously side to side. So you think, that's fine. But what they've had an extension on the side, like a 5 metre extension, and this is the centre of the property. So now we've got to try and get it from the centre of the property across. We can't go straight outside because it's not a flat roof, it's a pitch roof. So we've got to try and drop it down somehow and come through the extension and out, obviously into a gully or on the floor, or terminate it somewhere like that, either 100 mil off the floor or into a gully or whatever we can to make it safe. But this is probably why the installers didn't do it in the first place. But this is what mind boggles me, people get away with this stuff, or especially the installers who installed it 4 or 5 years ago, get away with this. How is that being signed off and left? There's a young baby in there. I think there's a newborn in there, and there's obviously kids have grown up kind of thing. This is directly underneath the living room. So God forbid that when 95 degrees, for example, temperature release went, or whatever, popped, that went straight down that pilot D2, straight through the ceiling, and right under there is their sofas with their living room is right below that. Now, what happens then? Like, do you know what I mean? That I don't even want to think about it. And I've seen, now, if you're G3 qualified and you've done all your certificates, everything like that, you will know exactly what I'm saying, and you would have seen the videos and the pictures that they show you during the courses of what goes on, now it goes on, if it goes wrong, blah 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 blah. But like, how did they get away? I don't understand. But if you've got any thoughts on this or anything, then text me back or write me back on this, or video me back on this on all my socials, just because I would like to see other people's point of view, and if they've come across the same thing, which you probably have. And this is what happens. I mean, not just this trade, but multiple different trades. You see bodges and that, and they get away with it. But you know full well, if you did that, for example, and try to be a bit cocky and bodge it, you know something will go wrong and come back to you. But these seem to get away with blue murder, and yet we get it back. And I don't get it. But yeah, if you've got any thoughts or anything on this, write me back or message me back in the comments, and we'll see how this goes kind of thing.